G'day Battlers and welcome to the G'day Battlers podcast, Road to Worlds edition. I'm PvPSteve.
And I'm debbiepebble, and in this series we'll be talking to each of the 2023 Play Pokemon World Championship contenders from the land down under as we head towards Yokohama, Japan.
In this episode, we'll be talking to Avrip and RobDrogo, the Perth regional champion and runner-up for Pokemon Go. Avrip and RobDrogo both qualified for the London World Championships in the 2022 Perth regionals, with Rob taking first place and Avrip coming in second. This year, incredibly, they've managed to come back and flip the placings for Yokohama, taking out the number 1 and number 2 spots for the second year in a row. Let's get into it. G'day, Battlers! Okay, so we're here with Avrip and RobDrogo, the number 1 and number 2 from the Perth 2023 regionals. First up, welcome in. How's it going, guys?
Good. Excited to be here.
Good. Just chilling.
Just chilling. That's the vibe that we're going for. Just chilling through this entire thing. We're just sort of gonna talk through the Pokemon Go PvP vibes because you two are sort of in a unique spot where you're the only double back-to-back first and second from the one regional. I think I'm gonna make it the bold assumption they're the only two in the world that sort of hold that distinction. But before we get into talking about all of that, sort of tell us who you are, what your in-game name is, where you're from, what brought you into Pokemon Go, and Adam, if you want to sort of kick us off.
Yeah, no worries. My real name is Adam, but I'm better known online as Avrip. And you've probably seen some of my articles floating around online since I'm a writer and editor for the Pokemon Go Hub. What got me into Pokemon Go? I've always loved, being in a community, and I feel like it's super easy to make friends with people, and I've just loved seeing this game grow from nothing to what it is today, and it's just super exciting to be a part of it.
Absolutely. I'm exact same vibes here. But Rob, tell us who you are. Who is this Rob guy?
I'm Rob. People call me Robbie. My in-game name is RobDrogo. I was born in Perth, but then I grew up in Singapore and Malaysia and Indonesia a bit, so I'm pretty diverse culturally. What got me into Pokemon Go? I just been a fan of the Pokemon franchise. Used to watch it when I was a kid. Yeah, I used to watch Ash, caught Pikachu, and all those Pokemon that I love. But yeah, I'm naturally a pretty competitive person. I used to love to battles. Yeah, I just want to be the best that Ash ever was.
Yeah, the best that ever was, absolutely. Now, talking about battles here, let's step into going how you guys step from Pokemon Go to PvP. So, Adam, if you want to kick off here with how did you get into the PvP realm?
Yeah, no worries. So I've always been a part of competitive gaming, and sort of every aspect in life when it comes to sports, anything competitive really. I'm down for. I just love the atmosphere of going to tournaments and competing. I also like to meet, fellow players and talk about strategies. I'm all about that. So, it dates back to the days where I used to play League of Legends competitively. I used to go to a lot of tournaments back in the day, and it sort of just transitioned from that into more Pokemon Go. So being a day one player, I've always been waiting for the day that we could actually PvP in Pokemon Go. And when it did come out, I've been hooked ever since and just want to continuously learn and become better. And yeah, it's just a great feeling knowing that this game is excelling beyond expectations.
Yeah, absolutely. To the point where now, both of you are competing at the world stage. Now, I think it's also here to note as well that both of you were invited to, in 2022, the London Worlds as well. But before we step into that, Robbie, if you want to dip into, I suppose, your journey into Pokemon PvP and where did that all start?
Yeah, I think Adam said it all. I'm just a naturally competitive person. I love to battle. I like the adrenaline when you battles and when you win with 1 HP.
Uh-huh.
But yeah, but the moment I lost, that really sucked.
Yeah.
Um,
Oh. Losing is never fun, unfortunately.
yeah, that's right. But yeah, I just like the battles. I like to beat up people, but yeah, pretty much it. Just kidding.
We'll edit that. We'll edit that.
And we're
Oh wait,
exposing you.
I can't
Leave it
say
in.
that.
Leave it in. Leave it in.
Yeah.
No. Oh, good. And yeah, let's go back down memory lane. Let's head back into March of this year, where the Perth Regionals was held at the Perth Convention Centre. I was also there. We had 20 competitors this year, which is surpassing the 12 competitors that we had last year. And it was great, obviously, to see both of you there again. And I suppose it was really. I mean, we know now what happened at the end, but let's talk about the beginning and your runs during the Perth regionals. So, Adam, how was your rounds? Tell me, how was it? From round one all the way to the finals.
Yeah, so I mean, obviously we know the results of what happened. Not trying to brag or anything. But besides that, yeah, it was a great day. Honestly, I was kind of nervous knowing that there was a lot of people that were actually flying in from different states to compete in this time around. Because I know that they're obviously great competitors, which I was very nervous. So to be honest, I did not expect to win it all, but somehow I managed to do that. But throughout the day, yeah, every battle was just completely full of adrenaline. There was some really close calls. There was some 1 HP wins, thankfully. So I guess luck was on my side that day when it comes to that sense. But yeah, it was amazing just meeting up with everyone once again. Just getting to know everyone in a more personal level rather than just talking about the game. That's always such an exciting feeling. And then the lead up towards the grand final, where Rob and I were competing, was pretty intense because I had to verse Fish on a Heater when I had thought that I had won 2-0. I got
Yeah.
pulled back to yeah, I was mid eating a mid pie. I mean, sorry, can you edit that? Yeah, sorry. I was mid eating a meat pie is what I meant to say. And getting a call saying that I have to come back and compete was pretty intense because you could imagine the mindset that I was in, that I thought that I had, completely beaten him. And to make things even worse, he ended up winning the next two games, which made it a 2-2. And that meant that the winner of the next game had gone on to the grand finals. And thankfully, I managed to clutch it in the end to verse our good friend RobDrogo in the finals. And those games are super intense, but I think I got a bit lucky with the alignment of my Pokemon against Rob's. And yeah, unfortunately for Rob, I ended up taking the crown and winning the 2023 Perth Regional Championship.
Let's just go back to your battle with Fish. Now, I believe that most battles are a best of three. However, the match that you were with Fish was the winners final. So the winners final goes to a best of five here. So hence why I think there was some miscommunication. Perhaps a judge that was just like thinking that it wasn't the winners final. And obviously you had 2-0'd at that point and was basically like, off you go to lunch. You've already secured your ticket to Japan and to be called back. And coming from like then evening out the score is always when it's reset to that point, it's always a little bit daunting, but you managed to push through at the end, which is awesome. Now back to Rob here. Now, Robbie, being the previous champion of the Perth Regional, I know, don't give me that sound. But let's talk about your run. How did you feel going from round one all the way to the end with the final?
Yeah, just like Adam, I was pretty nervous. I think my first round opponent was I think she gave up or something. But yeah, I didn't play my first round, and then second round I played I think it was Lily Bear. Yeah, it was pretty it was a good match, and then after that I played Fish on a Heater, which I've lost, and then I got kicked out of the loser brackets.
Mm-hmm.
And then yeah, I played. I think most of my games were pretty neutral. I actually almost lost to a guy called IOTA.
Oh, Iota,
I think,
yes.
yeah, I think he was. Yeah, I think he was from Japan, but I almost lost that game. But I managed to win that with 1 HP,
Wow.
which was pretty lucky. Yeah, honestly thought I was gonna be out after that game, but yeah, I think I played Rick Flareon after that. It was a pretty tough match, but the third match, I was pretty lucky, and I just got alignment. Um, it was my Basti against his Noctowl, so yeah, not much he could have done. Um, yeah, and then just the final was pretty intense. Oh wait, I played Fish on a Heater before that. That was also pretty intense. I think I won 3-2. But yeah, it was a pretty close match. And the game with Adam, it was I don't know. I think Adam just guessed everything correctly. He was pretty on that day. I couldn't win a single lead, but yeah, it was a good game. Congrats to him. Yeah, good day overall.
Yeah, I mean, like both of you having to, I suppose, like 2 weeks ago, or 2 weeks prior to Perth was OCIC, which both of you competed at, and now we know obviously the score from that, where Fish came second at OCIC, and then coming to Perth and having to, obviously, both of you having to compete against Fish on a Heater again to try and secure your ticket into for Yokohama. And I remember just the battles for Robbie being in the losers bracket and then trying to get his way through. I suppose it goes without saying. Would you say that your MVP for the entire time was your Basti?
That's a good question. I think my MVP was honestly Trevenant. Basti was okay, but there's just people bringing too many fighters. But yeah, Trevenant was so clutch. I won a game with Adam just because Trevenant was that good. But yeah, it's one of my favorite. I best buddied my Trevenant, but unfortunately got debuff this season. But yeah, Trevenant, and Trevenant.
Yeah, the Trevenant during that period of time was certainly powerful. How about you, Adam? What would you rate was your MVP during the Perth Regionals?
So going off what Robbie said, obviously Trevenant was such a dominant powerhouse in the previous season. Obviously now, rest in peace. But no, I actually thought that one of the best counters, Umbreon, was my MVP because I knew there was going to be a lot of Trevenants, and even towards everything else in the meta, it was just such a good neutral pick. And for me personally, against the Fish on a Heater matchup, it won me pretty much all the games. I was able to snarl down a lot of his Pokemon and come out with 2 foul plays, which in fact won me a lot of games. So definitely Umbreon all the way.
Yeah, and Umbreon was such a strong, well, it still is such a strong player in the meta as well. So both of you, obviously from last year, we had Robbie as champion, Adam as runner-up. This time round, we flipped it. So it felt very, for me, very much deja vu because I was just like, this again.
Yeah.
And I know you both well enough that I don't know if you guys remember. I was like, guys, can you wrap it up so I can go eat? So just so you guys can finish. But and this time around we didn't have to do a bracket reset. So it was great for my own personal reasons, but for you guys, I believe it was. Do we remember the final score? Adam probably does.
In the end, I believe it was 3-1. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
In the finals.
3-1 done. In the finals, 3 there. Excellent. So, especially with now that experience with OCIC and now with Perth Regionals, and Adam with your previous experience at Worlds last year, how do you feel about battling, let's say, on stream? Oh, actually, let me take that back.
Yeah, I wouldn't really know much about that, Debbie.
Robbie, how do you feel about when you were battling on stream compared to battling in Perth?
Yeah, on stream was pretty good experience. I honestly one of my favorite because once you get on stage, it's a bit different. It's a bit daunting because you can feel that people are watching you. There's a lot of people watching. I don't know. I got nervous, but then I tried to stay cool. But I actually wasn't. I was about to explode that day. But it was fun. It was fun. And the phone, the seat was super comfy.
Cool.
Yeah, the seat was really comfy. I almost fell asleep, to be honest. Yeah, it was just a fun experience. You get to see your Pokemon lineup on the screen, on the big screen. Yeah, it's just really cool experience. Hopefully, I'll get to be on stream again one day.
Yeah, definitely leading up to Worlds. Let's hope that both of our Perth boys can be on stream this time round. But yeah, I think both congratulations on your run in Perth. I think it's just, it's really like for me, it's very heartwarming to see you both, locals, both obtaining tickets to Yokohama and, but the second time round as well. So I suppose leading into Japan now, what are you guys like, preparing ahead now? Now there is a new meta. Obviously, we touched base about Trevenant and how Trevenant is probably something that we're going to see rarely in the new meta. Have you guys had a chat or thought about what, not that you need to reveal your team, but, thought about what changes or what we would like to do leading up?
Yeah, so obviously the meta shift is definitely interesting because you can't just run the same line that you did last season because that obviously won't work. I've noticed that there's a lot more ice types now in the meta, so I'll definitely have to account for that. And also the fact that Trevenant has gotten a pretty significant nerf to Seed Bomb means that I can't run that anymore. So I'm definitely going to have to tweak my team up a bit. But overall, I'm definitely going to do a lot of trial and error and see what I'm comfortable with, see what I'm not comfortable with. And once I do decide on that, I'll definitely just stick with it and do a lot of scrims against a lot of other, decent battlers and make sure that I can understand different matchups. But yeah, just practice. That's my plan.
I mean, look, and that less Trevenant is sort of like a 1-2 combo where not only is it taking out Robbie's MVP of Trevenant from Perth, but it's also really reducing the viability of Umbreon, your MVP.
Yeah, exactly.
So both of you are sort of being thrown for a little bit of a loop here. But I mean, Robbie, how are you sort of like? Obviously, we're not giving away teams here. And I'm sure that even if you had a team right now, that it's likely to change between now and the actual World Championships. But how are you approaching the World Championships in sort of building a team and practicing?
Yeah, when I heard that Trevenant was on got a pretty massive buff, debuff, I was pretty devastated. So I've been trying to look for another option for a ghost type, but it's pretty hard. I haven't thought about it too much, to be honest, but I feel like there's gonna be lots of ice type, but I've been watching a bit of the streams, the championship, the regional championship in North America recently, and I haven't seen that many changes, to be honest. So I don't know. I feel like I might still be going with a similar, like the same team as I did before, but maybe swap the Trevenant with something else. Yeah, I haven't really thought about it, but yeah, have to wait and see. Maybe I'll copy Adam's team. I might copy Adam's team, and we'll see from there.
I might have to bring Bastard on as well.
Yeah, that's right. Double, maybe triple steal. Because
that's a good try. We shouldn't give it away, but yeah, that is a definitely good try.
Yeah.
These guys are just priming the world up to think that they're going to bring all steel so that everyone starts bringing in triple fighter. Watch out for the Metacham, Obstagoon, Primate teams coming out soon.
Steve, please don't reveal our tactics. Thank you.
Sorry. We'll definitely edit this. Oh my gosh, edit this out too, please. Oh my gosh, I can't talk. Please get those editing scissors out. But with that said, I mean, look, we're definitely going to be looking. I think Caleb will hopefully be looking forward to, because I think Robbie, you've gotten a little bit of attention for being a Bastidon user. I've definitely heard your name being brought up in multiple conversations, from Caleb included, about, like, you being one of the Bastidon users from OCIC in particular, I believe.
Yeah,
So there'll be an expectation.
I think Caleb and I is the only two people qualifying with Basti. I'm pretty sure.
And
right.
Caleb's just double qualified with it.
Yeah, he did. Yeah, but he hasn't won with Basti though. So Caleb.
True. So I mean, that's 3 out of 3 Bastidons in second place, right? So I don't know. Maybe there's something to it. Maybe it's just not a world champion mon.
Yeah, I know Adam's got a rank 1 Basti, so he might bring it.
We'll see, yeah, we'll have to wait and see. Maybe I'll get on stream one day and showcase it, but probably not.
Just keep winning, Adam. Just keep winning. You'll get
That's
there.
the plan. Yeah, 100%.
But moving a little bit aside, keeping on the focus on the World Championships in Japan, what are you guys' plans in going to Japan, sort of on the not competitive side? Like, are you making a bit of a holiday? Are you getting there early for Go Fest? What are your sort of plans, Robbie? So I mean, that's 3 out of 3 Bastidons in second place, right? So I don't know. Maybe there's something to it. Maybe it's just not a world champion mon.
Yeah, I know Adam's got a rank 1 Basti, so he might bring it.
We'll
see,
yeah, we'll have to wait and see. Maybe I'll get on stream one day and showcase it, but probably not.
Just keep winning, Adam. Just keep winning. You'll get
That's
there.
the plan. Yeah, 100%.
But moving a little bit aside, keeping on the focus on the World Championships in Japan, what are you guys' plans in going to Japan, sort of on the not competitive side? Like, are you making a bit of a holiday? Are you getting there early for Go Fest? What are your sort of plans, Robbie?
Yeah. So unfortunately, I'll be missing Go Fest because I had booked my ticket in advance, and I can't really change it. But I'm definitely going to Japan. Definitely going to see Tokyo, Osaka. I don't think many people know, but I'm a huge fan of ramen. So when I go to Japan, it'll be ramen every single day. Yeah, I'm just gonna be feasting on ramen every single day. It's all about
I like
the
this
food,
plan. I like this
the
plan.
people. Yeah, it's honestly it's a simple plan for me. It's just Pokemon, food, people, and chicks. Oh, wait, no.
Whoa.
Wait,
We're leaving that in.
wait, hold on.
That's a
Can we
good
cut
plan,
that
Robbie.
out?
That's a very good plan.
Wait,
So that doesn't go into people?
we're gonna cut that out.
No, we're not.
No, we're gonna cut that out.
No, that's staying
I
in.
didn't say that. Wait,
Ooh.
Pokemon, food, and people. That's it.
And friendship, yeah.
Absolutely, friends.
Yeah, of course.
It's all about the friends you made along the way. What about you, Adam?
Yeah, so I think Robbie hit the nail on the head with the whole ramen thing. I'll definitely be joining him along the way, eating ramen 24/7, so that sounds like a great plan. Other than that, though, yeah, I'll be participating in the Go Fest in Osaka, which is super exciting because I've always wanted to go to a Go Fest, but never really had the opportunity to do so. But this is, perfect chance to experience everything, meet up with people, and experience the culture and everything Japan has to offer, which I'm super excited for because I've never actually been to Japan, but I've heard a lot of wonderful things. I heard it's going to be summer over there, so I'll definitely need to pack accordingly. And then, yeah, so from Osaka to Yokohama for the World Championships, which is going to be pretty full on. And then after that, I think I'm going to go to Tokyo and just treat it like a holiday, experience different things, catch up with people, and just do things a bit out of my comfort zone. So it'll be great.
Yeah, I mean, look, Japan is definitely one of those places that there are a lot of unique experiences that you can take part in. So if there was ever a place to go to sort of get out of that comfort zone, I think we've got a pretty good destination.
Definitely.
Plus, of course, all the ramen.
Yeah.
I heard that Adam might be meeting a special person in Osaka, but You know, I don't know
Oh,
if that's a secret.
I have no idea what RobDrogo is talking about, I'm afraid, but don't listen to the rumors, everyone.
Whoa.
Oh. Oof. Is it me? I hope it's me.
It's
Gosh,
Steve and Debbie. Yeah, you guys got it.
Knew it. Um,
good cover,
but,
Steve.
I mean,
Good cover.
yeah, that's it. That's it. But also, I mean, like as you said, it is going to be summer in Japan. It is going to be stinking hot, and compared to, I know Perth is pretty chilly at the moment. I think that there's definitely going to have to a big mind shift to sort of moving to that different climate. That extra week in Japan might help acclimatize before going into the World Championships. You know, when people play sport, they often sort of try and get there a bit earlier to acclimatize. Maybe it's the same for Pokemon Go. Only one way to find out, I guess.
That's true.
Yeah.
With that said, I mean, I guess actually one important question to ask Adam.
Yep.
You obviously were able to compete in the World Championships last year. Unfortunately, Robbie, other things sort of came in and took place that sort of prevented that from occurring, which is
Yeah.
obviously
COVID.
tragic. COVID
Yeah.
getting in the way of us all. But do you have any advice, Adam, sort of to someone who hasn't competed in the World Championships? Like, what's that vibe like compared to a regional tournament?
Oh, honestly, the atmosphere is completely different. Obviously, every regionals you go to is going to be full of adrenaline and intensity, but being at a world championship itself is a completely different experience. You know that every battle you do is versing literally some of the best people in the world. So preparing for that is a bit crazy, but all you can do is really just take a deep breath, go in with what you are comfortable with, and just play to your heart's content. There's not really much else I could offer in terms of advice for that. But to be honest, it's just a nerve thing. Once you get over that, once you're a bit more comfortable with the games and the matchups, then you can just sort of have a good time with everyone. But yeah, the adrenaline is very intense. I'll say that.
Yeah, and it makes a lot of sense. And I think that even just comparing like Perth and OCIC, because both of you were able to compete in both tournaments, I think that those two tournaments probably have incredibly different vibes, right?
Oh, 100%. Perth obviously was one of the smallest regionals around the globe, but not to say it wasn't, a difficult challenge. It definitely was, since I was saying before that there was a lot of players that actually flew in and competed. So, the nerves were definitely all real, and, they were definitely all there. But yeah, a world championship is definitely a next level experience.
Absolutely. Now, I will say, now we sort of primed you earlier on that there was going to be a random question thrown in at the end of this interview, end of this podcast, to keep you hot on your toes, to say.
I'm scared.
Now, we've sort of delved into our minds to try and find some of the questions that people need to know, like if people, they haven't been able to see a lot of Avrip, haven't been able to see a lot of RobDrogo on streams, on Play Pokemon circuits. It's all the Australian regionals. We've only had OCIC streamed, nothing else. So what question can we ask that'll get us to know you, the real you guys, as you go into Japan? And what we devised in our science lab was, Adam, and I'm going to ask you this first. Who is your favorite Disney princess and why?
Favorite Disney princess? Oh, this is I really expected this question. This is not something I'm put on the spot by.
We like to keep it like first answer.
First answer that comes to mind. Is the Little Mermaid considered a Disney princess, or is that just a mermaid?
She's a daughter of King Triton.
So she's technically a princess.
I suppose. I mean,
Okay. Well,
I'll allow it.
Say, all right. Cool. I would say her. I've always had a big crush on her since I was a kid. Those, the way she flows in the water, and her hair is just top notch. Honestly, yeah.
Okay. So
anyway, Robbie.
The version of Ariel that got a tail instead of feet. That's what we're going for.
Whoa.
Yeah, let's go with that.
Whoa.
Let's go with that.
Well, For me, it's pretty easy. It's gonna be Jasmine because I've always been a huge fan of Aladdin, and I like the way that Jasmine just walks around the city without any thongs or any shoes.
Well,
What?
I'm lost for words.
You've got a bit of a thing for that, do you, Robbie? Or...
Wait, no, that's not for me. That's for someone else.
Ah, okay. No worries.
The end part was for someone else.
Yeah, no worries.
For Aladdin. For Aladdin.
Yeah, that's right.
Of course, of course.
Yeah. So, with that said, I'm not sure how much of that is getting into the podcast, but that does sort of bring us to the end of the Perth podcast edition. So, sort of before we go, I mean, Adam and Robbie, both of you, like massive congratulations to you both for essentially performing incredibly well in one of the most prestigious tournaments in the world, and now traveling to the most prestigious tournament in the world. It's really going to be exciting to see you both sort of battle against the best and show your own. Debbie and I are definitely here rooting for all of the Aussies going in, because we just know we're going to get an Aussie world champion coming up very soon. So, do your best. We'll see how we go. I'll be honest. I'll be a little bit disappointed if we see no Bastidon, but if it's what we get, it's what we get. But before we go, I mean, Adam, do you sort of want to let everyone know where they can sort of find you, keep up to date with sort of socials and all of that in this lead up to the World Championships?
Yeah, no worries. So probably the best place to find me would be Twitter, to be honest, which is what I'm most addicted to right now. So my, what do you call it? No, what is it? Oh god, cut this out.
You can call it your
What's the official word? Yeah, my tag.
Username?
All right, let me start again. All right, so yeah, so the best place to find me would be Twitter, since I'm most addicted to it right now, and my tag right now is at GoHubAvrip, because I mentioned before that I'm a writer and editor for GoHub, and so that is my tag.
Your tag? I thought at your at your username.
Yeah, my at is GoHubAvrip.
All right, and what about you, Robbie?
Well, so my Twitter is gonna be RobDrogo. Yeah, I'm mostly on Twitter. I'm checking messages and tweets, but I'm not there too often. But yeah, for all the girls in the world, call me.
Perfect.
You heard it here first, folks. So, if anyone wants to slide in, the DMs are right there. But that does bring us to the end of this. So, Adam, Robbie, thank you so much for coming on. And
no worries. Pleasure to be a part of it.
My pleasure.
Up to the end. I guess good luck in the World Championships. We'll see you there.
Thank you. See you there.
Cheers.
Thanks for listening to our podcast. Join us next time with the Sydney Regionals top 3, Agent Magikarp, Rick Flareon, and Mikey Morgs. Follow our socials at GO Battlers on Twitter and YouTube.
Did I say mid-pie, by the way?
You said mid-pie.
You did.
Okay,
You did mid-pie.
great.
That was
Perfect. That's what I meant to say. Mid-pie, that's what I was eating.
With one real big.
Why do we have
Whoa.
cow sounds in here?
Who
Or
let a
this-
cow into the call?